Thank you so much, Allison. Good morning, everyone. I will tell you they save the best for last, but I'm a very biased person. We'll start off with a little thought exercise. What if every interaction you had with the brand could be your best experience? Marketers, we're present in every part of the customer relationship, whether that's discovery, it's purchase, or it's loyalty, bringing it back up again. And agents, they're also along for that ride with us. They're personalizing experiences, they're shaping decisions, but they're also increasingly becoming extensions of your brand. In fact, 86% of marketers have told us that AI has fundamentally changed how consumers are engaging with brands. And that is why the Customer 360 is now more important than ever before. So you saw in the previous chapter us talk about marketing and sales working together. In this chapter, you're going to see marketing, commerce, and service. Marketers, you are defining what the experience is across all of these agentic touch points. And the context is what's going to make that possible for you. Context is what we use to help an agent understand your brand, your customer, and your business. Is what we use to help agents personalize every interaction. We turn every channel into a two-way conversation. But it also means that as you have handoff between your different teams, we can bring the context along with that as well too. This is how we turn agents into your best brand ambassadors. This is exactly the type of agentic experience that Bridge is building towards. Bridge is a luxury jewelry retailer, and for over a century, they've been known for crafting these amazing, personalized in-store experiences. But so much of their customer data and history, it lived in these disconnected systems, and it made it really hard for them to scale those same personal experiences outside of their store. But now that they're unifying their customer data, they can get to a world of real-time clienteling, where they can start to craft these personal experiences in other channels. Bridge wants every agentic experience to feel like you're working with your own personal jeweler. And I'd love to show you a story, a demo based on their story. So we're going to start off inside our unified brand center. Inside here, my team's brought some things I might need. It's got my assets, it's got some templates and product information. But folks, what's important here is what we're doing with brand. This is our brand voice we're defining in here, our brand tone, visual identity. Everything related to who we are as a brand is defined in here. And this is important because this is a unified layer for any agentic interaction. That's right, I said any. Now let's preview how that brand voice carries forward into the different channels and agents. And whether that's an SMS or an RCS, it could be conversational search, or it could be a post-service engagement. All of that is going to be grounded in the Bridge expertise because of what we're setting up in here. And now that we've got our brand set up, why don't we put it into action? So the Bridge team is getting ready to launch a luxury watch collection. They're going to start off in the Pacific Northwest. They're going to target some high-value customers. Instead of starting from scratch, they turn to Agentforce marketing. Specifically, the Agentforce content agent. You might have seen this yesterday in the keynote. It's in pilot. And what they're going to do, they're going to start off by picking up a campaign brief. You'll have them. They lie around in your PDF docs and Word docs there. The campaign brief, in this case for us, was made by the marketing goals agent. You also saw that little sneak peek of that yesterday. That's also in pilot. The campaign brief has everything we need to get our content agent going. It's got audience, it's got timing, it's got budget. And that is really important for what comes next, which is, drum roll please, and I'm doing my own drum roll because I didn't get a sound effects budget this year. For what comes next, which is, and I'll give it a second here, channel-ready content. And this is a big deal. This is not generic. All the content that you just see generated here for our email and RCS, all of this is grounded in the Bridge content and brand. And now that we have our content ready, let's talk about customer relationships. We know that no two customer relationships are alike. And traditionally, this is the part as marketers where we sit down and we start to personalize these offers by channel, by segment, by subsegment. A, it's not fun, and B, it just doesn't scale. What if instead our offers and experiences could be personalized based on customer behavior and intent? And you'll see as we cycle our way through the different offers, these are being fed and triggered based on real-time customer behavior and intent. Now that you've seen what this looks like as we set up this campaign, why don't we look and see what it looks like on the other side as a consumer? So it just so happens I'm in the market for a new watch. And if you've spoken to my wife, you'll know that I'm perpetually in the market for a new watch. I start to browse this site, and the shopper agent is starting to help me out here. It's asking me some questions. I'm looking for a watch, something I can wear every day, a little go anywhere, do anything sort of kind of watch. And as I start to work my way through the options in here, it's going to show me a few things. Let's see. I like that first one. Let's keep scrolling. Oh, those are not bad. I think, listen, the first one is what does it for me. I don't know about you guys, but I'm a sucker for that first one. But listen, I don't know about the rest of you, but I'm a recovering millennial, and I can't make big purchases on my phone. So I go to find my laptop, and I got small kids, so I might get distracted along the way. Now, this buying signal, this intent signal, might have been lost to Bridge. But remember, we set up that in-store invitation with the trigger. And so I receive an invitation to go to the in-store event. Now, why don't we continue the customer journey, my journey, if you will, back inside Agentforce Marketing. Here, you can see everything that's happened. This is the C360. This is my purchase behavior, my browsing intent, that in-store invitation, and spoiler alert, I went to the store, and it was really hard to say no to the watch once it was on my wrist, so I bought it. But the experience doesn't end here for Bridge. Afterwards, I receive a personalized RCS message. You notice I said RCS, not SMS. RCS is new. It's interactive. It's got personalization. It's got direct access to support. It's a new level of interactivity marketers that you can tap into. And remember, every channel is a two-way channel. So as I start to customize and ask questions because, I naturally want a new strap for the watch I just bought, it's going to connect me to the service rep, the expert over at Bridge. And the context of what I bought, the conversation I'm having, why I'm having this conversation, goes over to the service rep. And as nice as that experience is for me as a consumer, it's just as seamless for the service rep back in their service console. So instead of having these disconnected experiences across commerce, marketing, and service, Bridge can now stitch together this seamless experience across the entire customer journey. Now, you've just seen what Bridge is building towards. I'd love to have a conversation with Eddie Delick, who leads digital experiences at Bridge. Eddie, so you've known for these amazing in-store experiences. Can you tell us a little bit how Agentforce Marketing is helping you create and scale those experiences outside of your stores?
Absolutely. So one of the things that Bridge pride ourselves on is the storytelling aspect of it. That's really a key part of our whole brand experience. And so, whether it's the customer, story of what's leading them to buy this purchase, it's a life event of some sort, etc., or a milestone, or if it's the story about the piece itself, the origin of it, the brand story, etc. And so this is what's actually exciting for us, and what the agents allow us to do now, is it allows us to take the notes off the profile and then be able to match that to the brand story, and then be able to create a personalized experience, a hyper-personalized experience really, on at the deeper level, post-purchase, and to follow up on to the customer. And so we can even go down to that serial number level, for instance, and then even go, well, these are the watchmakers that potentially handmade this watch for you. And so that's what's really exciting for us. And this is something we've been trying to solve for years. And so now it's actually quite easy for us because it's all in one place.
I'm astounded. I'm excited for this part of the journey for you. Can you tell us a little bit, as you start to merge together this unified understanding of who a customer is with this rich history in your brand, what does it unlock for Bridge?
So one thing we really pride ourselves is that we are your personal jeweler for life. And so we have associates that have, maintained connections for up to 50 years with families, okay, because it's multi-generational. And so this actually unlocks a lot for us, because what it does is we can now see everything from the in-store appointments and which products we were presented during that experience. We can see the events that you're interested in, your browsing interests.
Yeah.
We can also see, your email engagement, and then even to the point where we can actually go and see the social media post that maybe you clicked on and viewed 3 weeks ago that influenced the actual purchase. And so this is super exciting for us to see it all in a single window pane, and we don't have to click around to different systems.
Excellent. Eddie, thank you so much for being here with us. Thank you for sharing the story with us. We're so excited to see what's next for BenBridge, and thank you for being an Agentforce marketing customer.
Thank you.
Folks, you just saw what's possible when agents can share that common context. And I'm so excited to make 2 quick announcements for you here today. We have the Marketing Goals Agent. You saw it help us out with that campaign brief, but it's so much more than that. It can self-optimize campaigns based on the marketer's goals and your guidelines. We also have the Content Agent. It worked off that brief to help us make that channel-ready content that was grounded in the brand and what we defined. We also have our Unified Brand Center. This is where we set up the voice for who we are as a brand, our visual identity that carried forward into how we do our content. We also have our retail triggers. These are behavioral triggers. That's what triggered that invitation for me to go to that in-store event. We also have RCS, Rich Communication Services. Not SMS, a whole new level of interactivity in this messaging channel. And to round it out, we have our real-time offer management. These are offers and experiences that are triggered based on customer behavior and intent. Behind all of these amazing marketing experiences are marketing innovations that are built for the next era of marketing. And with that, I'd like to welcome back to the stage Eric to close us on out.